Yo, what's up?
What's happening?
Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Yeah, I don't know if I would say happy Tuesday, but okay. I feel blurry. I got to work on this.
All right. Yeah.
Ooh, I'm less blurry now.
There
Yeah,
you go. Professional.
yeah. Um, Cheers, to everybody out there.
Yeah. Well, what you got?
This is
That looks fancy.
I picked up on the way home.
Yeah.
It is.
Did you walk?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. All right.
yeah. I'm a little sweaty. It's called Gristle. It's a bourbon barrel aged imperial stout, aged for 18 months, 12% alcohol.
Wow.
And it had this like really cute dog on the front. So I was like, I got to get that,
Well, yeah.
you know? So, hey,
Well,
like, look, people are excited about this.
Yeah. Hey, we're getting that. We're getting the
We're
Colts
getting the vibe going.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's fucking go.
And then look at this.
Yeah.
Laugh on. What are we fucking clowns here for your fucking amusement?
So I think we should start off with it. I told you so.
What's the I told you so about?
I told you Cadillac was building an engine for F1.
Oh, come on. They ain't fucking building nothing.
They are. They just announced it today.
Yeah, but I don't, are they really going to build something? We'll see.
I mean,
that's just a point to try to get Andretti in. And I don't even know why, it's probably are Wayne Taylor with Andretti Racing. Are they racing Cadillacs?
Yes.
Okay. Because otherwise, he has no fucking tie to a Chevy company with his Honda Indy cars and all this other shit. Like,
yeah, but the Chevrolet pulled out of IndyCar.
What? No.
Oh.
Chevy's in IndyCar, bro. I don't know where smoking, but whatever.
He'll probably have to switch to that.
Well, maybe. Who knows? We'll see. I think it's all about if there's tokens enough to switch. And they only can help out so many people at once. So, look at this. We got people here for the special guest. That's good. I'm hoping that special guest.
Yeah, we are too.
I hope that special guest is going to make everyone feel special. To him, it says it just keeps on saying joining. I don't know.
Did you click the right link?
Try your phone or a computer. Now, like I'm doing freaking tech support. This is great.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Hi, can I help you?
Yeah. Hi, this is Mike. Would you like the football phone? Oh, okay. Anyway, that was my favorite.
Did you ever work like tech support like that?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Thankfully, it was all during college, but yeah, I totally did that.
I couldn't imagine getting to you. You're a fucking clown. Just kill yourself.
Well, like it would have been one of those things where I was like, like you're not in front of somebody, you're on the phone, and you're just like fucking dying. You're trying to figure out how do I tell this son of a bitch to do XYZ. This is 1996, 97.
Yeah.
Imagine what that version of the man that would be known as FJ would have been like.
So like everybody is like dealing with your dad. It's like,
yeah, kind of. Anyway.
Yeah.
College students and like college professors were probably the worst. So I had one guy who came into the computer help desk I was working at, and he was talking about how he downloaded things in his mind.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. It was awesome.
What was he on? Did you try to get any?
No, I didn't. So what's going on in the back of your screen, bro? It's distracting the people.
It's Thanksgiving time. It's a turkey.
Do you have like a balloon or something?
Well, it's just a little thing, a little paper thing.
Where is it coming from?
It's hanging from my ceiling fan. Because unlike your fucking house in Florida, every room has a ceiling fan.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. Because it's required.
Well, it's kind of just an unnecessary evil.
So I can put it up.
Yeah. Why don't you do that? It's making the people. It's making them angry. But we are working through. Well, not really. We are trying to work through the things with the Donny Lia.
All right.
So,
yeah, there was some objection to that, but we got it.
Yeah, we'll be good.
Rude, I was just told.
So that's good. I agree. We are very rude. So not that Donnie will care about this. So let's get into the funny things. I saw some post about a gentleman racer. What happened this weekend?
I didn't do shit.
Or that was a prior weekend. What was that?
That was like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. They just now got it. Felix just now got around to posting it.
Wow. All right.
Because he's got a girlfriend now, so he's busy. And therefore, it took him a month to post the chassis focus from the state race that was at Flagler.
Yeah, I thought this was like a long time ago.
Yeah, it was.
All right, but
I was just reposting it. I mean, it's kind of nice to delay it a little bit, but like a month after,
well,
moments lost.
Did you get a lot of people asking you for your setup?
None. No one wants my setup.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
Yeah. Is this correct? Jeremy Massalou is asking if Felix's girlfriend wants more power.
I don't know. You have to ask him.
Okay.
I don't know. So, anyway, that's what's happening there. And so, yeah, the chassis focuses all came out like a month later.
Mm-hmm. All right.
But, cool. So, yeah, but hey, it's nice that it's done, and he puts it out there, and you get a little pub, and whatever. So,
okay,
it was of course like all the he had the wrong battery I was using, he had the wrong radio I was using, he had the so it had to all get fixed.
Yeah,
but, hey.
Were you running an express car?
Yeah, the Awesomatics Express.
Yeah, that could be.
But I saw that they're like drivers are going over there.
What?
The Express over in Japan.
Like one guy?
Yugo.
Okay.
Remember Yugo?
Okay, who else?
I saw some other guy too. I don't know all their names.
All right. All their names? That's
racist, bro. How's that racist?
You're like their names, yeah. Uh-huh.
Whatever. Get out of here.
I'm just giving you a hard time. All right.
And then Hot Bodies is dropping kids. Or people are dropping Hot Bodies, one of the two.
Yeah. Number one, I hear that car is a bag of dicks.
Isn't that what your Ming Yang is?
No, but it's always a different thing. So they have a new car out, and I'm basically the only people that are hitting me up about the Ming Yang are folks who have the new Hot Bodies and they fucking hate it. That's it. All right. And they're just like, no, let's not do that.
We want the old Hot Bodies.
Yeah. They're like, when we get the old one with parts support, that'd be great. Thanks.
Yeah.
And so that's that. But who knows?
I mean, I was looking at the Ming Yang. It was a good price.
Yeah.
Is it a saddle packs?
For
e-buggy?
No, it's a big brick.
Oh.
Yeah.
If it was saddles.
I think people, might bring more boys to the yard.
Yeah, well, because you can always run your whatever batteries, right?
Yeah, but dude, 8-scale guys don't have whatever batteries. They have, stuff they purposely buy.
Yeah.
I saw this. So I went to the store to go get, some beer on the way home. And I saw this fantastic, I had to go pee really. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll buy some beer. So I saw this fantastic doodle in the bathroom stall. This is magnificent. It's a dick head with dick feet. Do you see that?
Yeah, I see that.
It's pretty good.
I'm glad you're judging the bathroom art talent in the greater Seattle area.
Yeah, I was impressed by that. I was like, that's not bad. That is not bad, my friend.
That is kind of funny.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
The one of the funniest things I've ever saw in a stall was probably when I was like 12.
Yeah.
and it was like a limerick or a poem.
Yeah,
and I'm sure it's well. And at the time, I thought it was clever and the most ingenious thing ever. It said, here I sit, all broken, farted, try to shit, but only farted.
Sounds great.
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious. When I was like 12, I was like, this is the funniest thing ever. And I memorized it.
Yeah. All right. Well,
look at this guy.
Yeah, we have questionable things on the screen and kids walking around in the background.
Oh,
so
this is not kid safe.
Yeah, that is not kid friendly. Anyway, we can't hear you, Donnie.
We can't hear you, Donnie.
Get this working. Come on.
All right. He's got his kid doing tech support.
Woo!
Can you hear me or not?
Yeah, we can now.
What? Now it works?
Donnie in the middle.
Yeah, we're all very skinny.
There you go.
I think that's okay.
Wow, I feel honored to be on this show.
Yeah, this is great, man.
Yeah.
You know, this is Donnie. You're sporting a mighty thick beard right now, my friend. I gotta say, it's pretty good.
What, buddy?
You got a mighty thick beard going on.
I'm trying to grow it. We're trying to grow it. Hold on. What are you saying? This? All right, we're good.
Mm-hmm.
Now get out.
Get out of here. You're useful now. Out. All right, that's good, man. I'm happy you have the kids. You got to make them do something. All right.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Everyone's here for you, Donnie.
We have everyone's here for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
How many people are on right now?
There's only 16, but we'll get to about 120 once Donnie gets going.
Yeah, for sure.
No, it'll break the internet.
The Tales of the Old Wild West with Donny Lia.
Yeah. Donnie, can you tell us a story about how when you were a drain on resources at a carpet naps? No, I'm just kidding. Anyway.
Oh my God, remember that?
I wasn't there. I only heard the story. It was really funny.
Was this the one at Beach?
I thought you were talking about 2016.
No, not that one. You did great at that one, dude.
Oh, after building two new bars.
Yeah. That was a really funny race. We were at Drew's old track. I roll in. I think it was me and Mike G showed up right around the same time. Donnie walks over to me with a bowl and a plate, and he's like, "Do you have another 12 scale kit with you?"
Man, my car took flight and it hit a pole or something at the end of the straightaway. There was nothing left of that thing.
Yep.
Nothing. To the point where Jim Dieter was there. He could not get the rotor out of the motor. We had to throw the stator and can and rotor away.
Yeah,
it wouldn't. That's how bent the friggin' rotor was.
Yeah.
That's how far the axle moved and bent the. It was awesome.
Yeah, we can also talk about like sometimes glitches happen at the end of the straightaway, right?
Yes. Yep. Seems to be all some people want to remember about me.
Now, I keep on telling a fun story about there was a Snowbirds mod 12 scale race.
I remember this very well.
And I always tell the story because
right?
It was until just the Halloween race a few weeks ago, I was certain that no one in a stock class could come back from like a wreck and almost win. I was like, that's only a mod thing. All right. We saw some savagery this past like few weeks ago.
I tried watching some of them races and I feel like I heard drama going on, but then I never heard about the drama after the race. I feel like there was some shit going down in the main.
There was always something down. Yep.
You know what the problem was? That it looks like an awesome little track. I would love to have gone. It looked like a tough place to actually race on. Like
it was.
You literally couldn't. Somebody just had to blow out in front of you, and had to blow out in front of you and not be in your way once they blew out.
Yeah,
right.
And
then when you run through them,
or they pull the old reverse peel. That's cool too.
Reverse peel is real, or the guy just runs right through you. Like the Mango did to me. But hey, it's one of those things.
Shit was slow.
I've been there. Giving and receiving.
I think he dumped.
What, on lap 3?
Did you dump?
Did you dump?
No, I did not dump.
I don't think Mike's picking up what we're talking about, man.
I know.
Yeah, he does.
I get it. So not so often does Donnie like message people and say, "Hey, I want to get on this podcast." So
I want to talk a little bit about get your guys' opinions. And anyone watching, whatever. So now I'm coming on this podcast as a frustrated track owner. Yeah, and we'll get to it. I don't know if you guys want to talk more stories and shit or what, but
I think a lot of people know who you are, but they don't know you. So like, let's give a little backstory. I guess we can go from there. So when did you start racing RC cars?
Started racing RC cars. I was about 10 years old, 1988.
All right.
At a little off-road track in Long Island called Huntington Off-Roaders. It was Small Torque RC was the club. Yeah. And I did that with my dad. Not with my dad, but my dad would take me, and did that for a few years. As far as racing goes, I was in and out of RC for a long time.
Yeah, because you did real car stuff, right?
Yeah. And then probably about 05, 06, maybe I kind of came back, started racing again, and kind of never left. But up from from being a small child to 20 whatever, however old I was in 06, whatever, I was in and out, between high school and college and everything. It was how it goes. So
what'd you predominantly race during that in and out time?
Initially off-road, but then once I got out of early 90s, I started racing 12 scale at where I had the joys of first meeting Michael Hanulek in 1992, 1, I don't even know.
Oh, you guys go back that long, huh?
At Mr. Demolis's father and uncle Nick track in Long Island.
Yeah, Daytona Speedway.
That place is. From that point on, I just raced on road. Basically, I ran some off road here and there, but it was the on road. It was the 12 scale that kind of got my attention, and that's all we were racing back then. Anyway, it's all we had to race back then.
There was no touring car back then.
There was nothing else, so that's what we ran, and I liked the how much faster it was in off road, and I liked how much traction there was compared to off road, and it just drew me in, and I liked it, so I never left it. So, that's what we did, and that's I built memories doing that as being young. So, and then I kept doing it, because it's one of them deals, you just get. For me, it brings me back to some good times. When you're young, you got no worries, no stress, no nothing, and it's a little escape. Well, still my little escape. So,
right. When did you start traveling? Did you travel back then, or did you wait till like 2000 whatever to travel? Or
first race I ever traveled to was 2007. Never forget this. We were racing big cars at Daytona and New Smyrna Beach.
Okay.
And I had started racing again. I was racing at South Shore. Remember South Shore, Mike?
Yeah, I never went. I restarted when you opened a track.
Oh, the first 360?
Yeah.
So
when was that?
I showed up there January 08.
08, yeah.
Okay.
So but anyway, in 07, I went to the Snowbirds. I tried to pack it into my big car racing deal because I had been racing on road again for a couple of years, and I'd never been to a big race, a race you would travel to or what have you. So that was the first time, and I met a lot of guys that I had raced with when I was younger. Bumped into Bruce Carbone, who was his speed merchant, and he's still going to this day. Frank Calandra, and these are guys that in the 90s when I was racing, like my local track, would every now and then would come visit, or if there was a raw regional, I knew them, and but never at a big race. So it was cool to bump into some guys again. And they kind of took me in and helped me out, get my stuff straightened out. And then from about 07 on, I just kept running, going to the big races and enjoying it. And,
so
hanging out with you guys.
Were we at the new place or at the old place?
It was at the old place. I wish it was a lot of fun. That was cool.
Yeah.
I think I was only there that one year. I think the next year we went to the new place.
Okay. It was right. That was around
08 was where, 08 was the first year where we are now.
Okay.
But yeah, so luckily I was able to experience the old joint. That place was interesting. And,
you were lucky if you got a hotel you got a room with a toilet. It was, I mean, it was about 60-40 whether or not you got one.
Yeah, and I didn't get the full experience. I was only there for a couple hours a day. I'd show up, run my qualifier, and leave. And it was, stock talks, I think, ran in the morning, so I was gone by real early. So, but a few of my friends actually had a room, obviously. So I'd show up, my stuff was all set up in their room. I'd wrench and run, and then bail out. And I made the A. I was really proud of that. But I was out till lunch when I first got there. It was hilarious because I didn't know how to glue my front tires. I didn't know that people even did that. Back local where I was running, there was no grip, anything like at a bigger race. So I don't know if it was Frank or Bruce. Somebody showed me, and it was a lot of fun. It's good memories. And ever since then, never left the scene. It's just fun. It's just somewhere to escape and have fun and still get that little, still scratch that itch, man, that we all need to scratch. That racing and going out there and driving the wheels off and stuff.
So folks want to know, what's your most memorable RC moment?
Oh, memorable. Oh, 08, going to Josh's track. He had the Roar Nationals there. And it was only my second or third race ever going racing to big races. Me and Sal Amato went. Mm-hmm. And really still didn't know much of anyone. And they knew us when by the time the race was over. Let's just say that. They knew us. But I made some enemies and I made some friends at that one. I ended up winning the race, stock 12 scale. And I mean, Sal was just so good with the motors, and the car was good, and we were so fast. And it was one of them tight racetracks. It was hard to pass on. So, got physical. And it was fun, man. It was fun. I mean, no enemies. I mean, it was their first time.
Who were you battling out with?
Meeting me, you know what I mean? Or some of these guys like Drew Ellis. I was battling with Drew, and the guy who ran for Associated, good friends with Mike Blacks. Can't think of his name. Chris something? I don't know. From Michigan, Ohio, out there. But it was Drew. I got to look at the results. Chicky was in that one. And it was a good race. But man, I got cleaned out every beginning of each main, and I had to come from the back.
Oh,
and
God.
I would get
shocked.
I was a new guy on the block, so the first shot they had, they took, so coming back through, I was just, elbows were out, and cars were flying off the track, and it was crazy, but it was fun. And ended up able to win that. That's the most fun, memorable experience, because that was the beginning of us going racing and traveling. Right. Like it was early on. Maybe I was at one or two races before that. Maybe it was just the second one, a snowburst, and then I don't know.
All right, so
anyway, yeah, it was fun.
So the winner,
I gotta thank Sal. Sal was man with the motors back then. We dragged a friggin' magnet zapper through the airport. The security was looking at us like, what is this thing?
Oh my God, can't even imagine.
That apparently was the 07 Nats.
Yes, 07. Okay. Was it?
Yeah,
it might have been. Yeah.
So it was 07, and
right, because 07 Snowbirds, right, beginning of the year, and then Nats is a few months later in March. So yeah, 07.
So after it was all said and done, the AAA results for stock was Donny Lia. He started third apparently on the grid. Drew Ellis, who started 10th on the grid, he got second.
No, Drew TQ'd.
Okay, well no, I'm sorry, I take that back. He in A1 he got 10th. I take that back. And then Chris Mazzola. Chris
Mazzola. He was fast. He was Associated guy.
And then Andy Power.
Okay.
Michigan guy.
Okay. Mike Pulfer. Wayne Vince. Eric Anderson. James Brink and Paul Ciccarella. That was the finishing order. Yeah.
Fun race. That and that was right at the tail end of the major popularity of on-road. So that was one of the only races I've been to where the place was packed. We get some good turnouts now. I guess nowadays Snowbirds is big and whatnot, but never just an on-road race with that many people.
Yeah.
Nowadays. Unless Cleveland now has came back and is strong, which is great. But other than that, back in the day, a couple hundred dudes, and a lot of Paragon. It was a Paragon haze in that building. Wild.
And so another question from Massalou. What was your most pissed off moment? Maybe it's right now.
No, I don't even know. 2014 Worlds, I qualified third and had a shot. I had a good enough car to win that race. And at the time, I don't know if you remember my glasses, Mike.
Yeah, they were Coke
My
bottles.
glasses used to be about 8 inches thick, right?
Yeah,
Never saw that good, you know.
I'm drinking through them right now.
My cars were terrible in the mains, you know. And I realized, like, by the third main, I was hitting everything. Cars weren't turning. I was running blue. I finally realized the tires I prepped the night before were not blue.
Weren't blue.
And I was so tired from just wrenching and working. So between my not being able to see that grade and being tired, I was running double blue fronts in the mains, which just push off the track. And I'm a little colorblind, a little blind at the time, and you know I just didn't see the second dot, you know. And then I pulled the tire out at some point during the mains, and I'm like, I finally caught it, and I'm like, Jesus Lord, you know, the whole week everything right down the drain, you know. But yeah, that was that sucked. But no, I never had any major, like, you know, somebody just took me out and I got real pissed or whatever. Usually I'm the one doing that.
I think
that's what Jeremy's probably thinking, that's what he was asking about. But no, nothing that sticks out in my mind.
Yeah.
I had a lot of people pissed off at me.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
What about big cars?
Yeah, same deal. There's been a lot of fights and shit. I've definitely gotten dumped in those a lot more than an RC.
Yeah.
So, but that's part of the big car stuff and short track racing. Yeah, that's definitely happened. You know, and then you get banged up by crashing. It's not like you just crash your RC car and walk away. You know, that kind of sucks too.
Yeah, it's not nearly as fun.
Yeah. So, thanks for the questions. Appreciate it. If anyone wants to know anything about me. What else you guys want to talk
about? So you reached out to us. You said, "Hey, I need to come on. I got some shit to say."
I want people's opinions. I don't know how many people we got on. How many people we got on the chat now?
20.
And then you guys and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
So, this is the same old story, and you guys have heard it 100 times, especially on road with the classes and whatnot. So, everybody wants to point fingers at Roar, and I really feel like Roar's doing a really great job. Clayton's really busting his ass, and everybody behind the scenes there. But the class situation is just really pissing me off, and as a track owner, you know, it affects me differently than a racer, I guess, you know, because I'm trying to keep a track going with good competitive racing and good turnouts and whatnot. And you know, over the years, I tried to say, okay, you know, when it comes to classes, you know, every you know, the RC racer, we're hobbyists, you know, we always want to try new things, and I don't blame anybody for wanting to come in and try a new class or wanting to race a different class, but we need structure. The racing, on road, off road, any racing needs structure. You know, you need that sanctioning body structure, and Roar is there, but the tracks need to follow it, and the big races need to follow it. And I think I just had, you know, with this 25.5 TC coming along now, it just sparked me up again. You know,
what about it sparked you up?
Well, I don't think it's a bad thing. You know, it's not that I don't like it, whatnot, but it's just another class that as a track owner, you're trying to run a tight program, and you want to. For years, I said, okay, these are the classes that we're running, and we had a spec TC class, we had mod TC, we had a spec 12 scale class, F1 and USGT. That's 5 classes, right?
Right.
And I would get people, oh, you know, can we run this? Can we run that? And unlike most classes, most tracks, I was known as that track owner that was, no, you know, 4 doesn't make a class here. You know what I mean? 5 doesn't make a class here.
Right.
You know, we race these classes that I just said. And if you want to race here, you're going to race these classes.
How do you think that went over, and how do you think it affected you negatively or positively?
You know, we had our ups and downs, and at some point we had local club racing with 100 entries.
Right. I remember
Sunday, local Sunday club racing, 100 entries, 80 to 130 entries, depending on if it was a trophy race or not.
Right.
But you know, there were other factors in that. There was no other track around us at the time. There was a Long Island near us. Always had an off-road track, and there's a lot of Long Island racers, and there was no off-road track at the time, so a lot of those Long Island guys are now racing on-road by us. Even Critters in Jersey, those guys weren't really racing, and all the Critters guys were coming to us, and even, you know, the owner and everybody was racing by us. So it was going to be good at that time, regardless of what we did, I think, you know, but we did put a good program in place, and we adopted the whole Can-Am deal, but with our own motors, hand out, come spin, get a number, take a motor. And that really blew up. People loved that. Then as time went on, like everything else, anything that's cool and new fades, right? So, you know, you lose some of the guys, and it exploded by us with the spec racing, spec TC and spec 12 scale. We had 50 entries in TC, and it was one class. And where I went wrong was it was one class. So a lot of the newbies that were showing up and getting into spec TC were, you know, they were down C, D, E mains and felt like they couldn't compete. And I think we lost a lot of those guys when we could have probably had an expert spec class and then a sportsman spec class, right? That could have helped the situation, but I didn't do it. I didn't realize it at the time. My mistake. So as time went on,
let me play devil's advocate real quick with that. Isn't that the same as creating more classes?
Yes and no. You know, I still only had 5 classes.
Right.
We had 4 or 5 classes. That was it. And you know, at that time, I don't think it would have been a negative. The negative comes along when you have guys trying to race classes with different classes with the same cars. Now we've got different classes with the same cars, same motors, and we're just changing a body. You know, maybe you're changing a tire. Sometimes not even. Mike's rubbing his hands here. So anyway, as time went on, entries go up, they go down, whatever. And then you get people, I want to run this, I want to run this. And these guys, you know, they come, let's run this class. And look, I come to the point, you know what, guys? Because I don't want to deal with it anymore. Pay your entry fee and race whatever the fuck you want to run. You know, I just gave in, right?
But I think that sentiment holds true for a lot of people that run tracks or race tracks. You know, at this point, you know, the numbers aren't necessarily there as a whole, so they're just the option they have is, well, as long as I can get somebody to show up and race, that's better than just only sticking to 5 or 6 things or whatever, right? And
yeah, but if you come up, I believe if you come up with the right formula for a local track, I'm not talking about the big races, whatever.
No,
that's a whole nother, you know, deal. But as far as local club racing goes, you know, I think you can come up with a formula that works for not have 10 different classes with 3 cars in each one of them, you know?
Right.
And at the end of the day, I know it's all about fun, but it needs to mean something, you know? And when you don't have any structure and no culture, with that structure comes culture and whatnot, you just have nothing. It means nothing, you know? And maybe I'm too competitive and it's all about the competition. It's not all about competition for me, but it's a big part of it. But it's affecting. It ends up affecting the turnouts and obviously the competition. I'm rambling on here, but my point to the whole deal was we've gotten to where the racers are controlling the whole racing side of things. Somebody wakes up one day and says, I think we should switch to 25.5 in our fucking touring cars. All of a sudden, there's big races now that are offering 25.5. And, you know,
but
that's also okay because we need a sportsman class. That's also okay.
Yeah.
right? We need something where somebody that the non-sponsored guy can come. I remember years ago, Mike Hanulek racing Sportsman touring car.
I did
At I think Snowbirds or somewhere,
No,
Vegas maybe.
It was IIC, yeah.
Right
on that shit box, yeah.
And you probably did. And Mike Hanulek was a non-sponsored,
a gentleman racer.
And like we don't have that anymore. And now the inmates are running the asylum. What's that?
Everyone has a sponsorship, right?
That's how we sell parts nowadays, right?
It seems
that's a whole nother conversation that we don't need to have right now.
Yeah. So
the count is there's 49 25.5s signed up for champs. Great, amazing. The racers got what they wanted.
Maybe.
But what are we accomplishing? You got guys that could win stock TC. That instead of running stock TC now running 25.5 TC.
Mm-hmm.
And you're killing 17.5. It's
where are we going? 17.5 probably needs to die anyway. I'm not terribly upset about that.
Oh.
But but it's not killing 17.5 because 17.5 still cuts. We now have 17.5, 21.5, 25.5, 21.5 USGT, VTA 25.5.
You got front wheel drive.
We got front wheel drive. This is every other week.
Yeah, and the Sam Isaacs exhibition class.
We have these classes because somebody somewhere thought, I want to race this.
Mm-hmm.
Got their buddies together, said, we're going to do this. Mike, what are you doing? What are you looking at your phone?
No, not at all.
Yeah, he's real distracted.
You just gotta ignore him. Are you wrenching?
I got silly putty going on here. It's great.
You just gotta ignore him because he fucks around and
you need like a fidget spinner or something.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yes.
So anyway, my point is that we've gotten where the inmates are running the asylum.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and Roar is trying to do it the right thing. And I think we all need to help Roar and assist Roar and support Roar. And especially, and I'm talking about I'm not criticizing racers or anything. It's tracks. It's the tracks and the big races. If you want to do something, there needs to be structure. And it can't just be a free-for-all. Or the on-road scene is going to be what it is now at a local level. Some of the big races are coming back. The turnouts aren't terrible. But go on Live RC and look at the local on-road racing. It's a disaster.
Yeah, I mean, so I think what you're trying to say is that we need to run. If we're going to have different classes, we just need to make a sportsman version or a expert version of that class. So say what they're doing out in California, they actually have 3 versions of 21.5, right? They have expert 21.5, they have sportsman 21.5, and they have intermediate.
This is not where I'm going with this.
No? Okay.
No, actually, I don't even know. I'm not really going anywhere with it. I wanted to talk about
it. We're having the conversation.
And get everyone in the chat's opinions on it, because I know this is such a massively viewed podcast that when I had the opportunity with Mike to come on, I wanted to take the opportunity.
Huge. We got 29 people right now, which is actually higher.
Hey, that's like 30% of the on-road race scene.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. This is all the guys who aren't sponsored right now.
Okay. So no, I didn't mean to cut you off, Mangler. I just
no. I'm just trying to put something together.
I'm just trying to say that's not. I don't think the answer or what we want to do. Okay. Not sure what is, but it's this conversation that just needs to have it.
So here's some of the things that people are saying. So Maslu drops this. Seems 17.5 is fading. All that's left is TC Mod, which a lot don't run. 21.5. And then 25.5. That's what he thinks. Maybe. We got another thing about 25.5 being the novice class at Birds, and then another comment here: USGT is dying now because of 25.5, and what's the point? And I think in general, my gut feel, like a long time ago when we all started racing, all right, because all three of us have been racing for a long time, there was generally like stock and mod. And I think we always kind of get back to that as like the heyday. There was stock and mod. You went to Cleveland. I went to Cleveland in like 95 or 96. I think it was 96. And there was like, I ran stock. They handed me some like the world's worst motor you've ever seen. And I spent about like 20 minutes breaking in the brushes in the toilet, because like, what else do you do? But I don't know if we're just acting like a bunch of like old bastards by saying that everything would be better if we just had stock or mod. I don't know.
Like, that is an old bastard approach. I think with the way that the world has evolved with options to do things, with people can get into racing different ways, whether it's sim racing, rock crawling, off-road. I think that people have too many choices, and that's kind of what they want to bring to the on-road world, is all those choices. I really feel that we need to, I don't disagree that there should be more structure. Unfortunately, I think the structures need to come from the regional level, and I think that's what's doing now, unfortunately, and it's affecting the national level. Does that make sense? And I think maybe Donnie's point is that he wants the national level to maybe affect the regional level. Is that maybe more in line with where your thought process is going?
I was reading some of the comments. Say that again, Wrangler.
Well, right now it's kind of the regional level affects the national level as far as attendance and what classes are offered. Whereas you want to maybe take an approach where the national level then affects the regional level and what classes are run.
I think it all starts and ends. It all starts and ends with a roar, because that. Can you hear me?
Yeah. We got you.
Okay. Whether national, local, doesn't matter. It starts and ends with roar, I feel, and Roar's doing a good job. It's really.
I don't disagree with that, but like,
I just think that everybody needs to follow it or not, and
Hey, Jerry, come here.
I don't disagree with that. I think, however, like today I was going through Facebook and I came across this track in somewhere in Pennsylvania, not far outside of Philadelphia. And it's these guys that race oval on a roller skating rink. And when I mean a roller skating rink, it's not even carpet. It's a fucking roller skating rink. And like they have laid down a groove so there's like a black line going around it, but they're literally racing on a parquet wood floor, right? And I think and yes, it's oval, but just say they were racing on road and they were racing around a parquet wood floor doing the same thing. They don't give a shit about roar. There's a region of people in the middle of Pennsylvania, in the middle of fucking nowhere.
I was just gonna say it. I did say it starts and ends with roar, and it does, but it doesn't. That's my point. Is without the local tracks and the bigger races, taking a version of whatever's going on and putting some structure in there. It's let me give it for instance. Actually finish what you were saying, man, because I cut you off. But
no, it's good. I mean, my point was like these people in the middle of Pennsylvania running around this little track, they don't care about it, right?
Exactly.
They have 4 versions of / late models or whatever, and that's what they want to run, right?
That's all they run in 4 version of / late models, correct?
I guess I didn't get too deep, but yeah.
So the frustrations on the on-road side are, you know what? Organically, off-road is in a better position when it comes to classes. I know you can sit here and name probably 20 different off-road classes, but at the end of the day, if you look at what's really being raced locally all over the place, it's 2-wheel drive buggies, stock and mod. Maybe a 13.5 4-wheel drive.
That's about it.
Right? So now let's say I have racers near me that maybe want to get into on-road. They don't even know where to start. We have 10, 12 different classes, and they're used to just, I got my buggy and I got my 4-wheel drive. Maybe they got trucks. Trucks seem to here and there. They got stock and mod. That's it. And we need to get at least a half of it. You know, we need to take the 10, 12 classes and get to maybe 6 that we're focused on in order for on-road to just be maybe attractive to more of the masses than what's going on right now, because it's kind of like a free-for-all right now.
Well, I think the challenge is, you know, you could basically buy 1 or 2 cars right now and run a lot of classes. So if you bought a 12 scale or you bought a 4-wheel drive touring car, you know, a 12 scale right now, there's probably 4 classes you could run, you know, like a GT something with foam or rubber, then a 17.5, a 13.5, and then, you know, if you want to be real crazy, run a mod. But like, I honestly don't even think we should talk about mods for, you know, what you're talking about. Mods a waste of time. Right. And then, you know, touring car is even worse. You could run VTA, you could run USGT, you do 25.5, 21.5, 17.5, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I also remember way back, like a few years ago at 360, we had a really good Fortec turnout.
Yep.
And I feel like, you know, that was also really good at the time because it was so cheap and the cars were pretty much tanks. And, you know, it gets kind of people in the door and gets them going. And like, I feel like it's something that you could at least have a hobby store support relatively easily. The other thing I feel like you could support, again, it's another class, would be that like Tamiya, that like Tamiya Pro Spec. Yeah, that's what it is. They have like 3 bodies and
not even the TTO2s, you know.
Yeah.
Well, what about the Euro truck?
I watched some of that racing at my track this past week. Every once a month, we have the Tamiya crew from Jackson and Brownies come down. And then come down whenever they want, but they come down once a month. And you know, a lot of fun racing. Good close racing. Look, actually watching those cars was kind of a realization of just why on-road has gotten so tough, because those cars are a throwback to what it used to be 20 years ago. The way racing was, the cars were slower, they have less grip. I'm watching these guys, and everyone's within a tenth of a second a lap. They're on top of each other, battling it out, you know, and that's just the way racing is. I mean, as time goes, we evolve and we go faster. Everything gets faster and lighter and whatnot. So it is what it is. It's just made a lot of the on-road racing very hard to do. But watching those Tamiya guys go run around, it was definitely eye-opening. And there's definitely a place for a class like that, like a standard class, part of Roar or whatever, not part of Roar, but maybe a, you know, local level. It doesn't matter, where we need that. And that Fortec class was just like that, Mike. You're right. And what happened with that was we Fordham Hobbies, Gunner is who really put that out there. And we got 10, 12 guys to do it. Total newbies. They were customers of the hobby shop. And guess what? Half of those guys now are racers.
Yeah.
At my place. What happened was when those guys evolved out of Fortec, we never replaced those guys.
Yeah.
That's why it died out, you know? So, but you're right. You always need something like that. And, you know, we're trying to do something. What's that?
I do want to kind of counterpoint too, because off-road's starting to see a surge of 21.5 as well with 2-wheel drive. And so, I mean, they're kind of looking at some of the same thing we're talking about here. I just kind of want to put that out there. I think, you know, I know me and Mike talked about this about a couple months ago about the Tamiya classes and the Tamiya series and how, like, it's very freaking popular. Like, dudes just show up, and it's like, why? Is it the free entry? Is it the fact that they get to run Tamiya cars? Is it the, you know, chance to go to Japan? Or whatever, what is it, right?
Whatever it is, the formula works. Whatever it is, it's drawing these guys out. Maybe a big part of it is the free entry. I don't know, probably is, but that's not all of it. That's maybe, you know, that's a piece of it.
But I mean, if it's really truly the free entry, I think that's kind of sad for the state of racers because you're like, I'm gonna go race, but I don't want to pay the $30 to race or whatever your entry fee is, right? Like, I'm gonna spend all my money on this Tamiya car, and spend like let's just say that you can get a Tamiya car for $800, $500, $800, right? Just to do a lap. That's probably what it's gonna cost. But they don't want to shell out $30 to tracks to go actually race at. That
Awesome.
I really have personally a problem with that because it's like
that's a mentality of a lot of the local racer.
It's like I want to buy a bowling ball and bowling shoes, but I don't want to pay for the lane fee. Like, come on, what the fuck? Like that's ridiculous. Or like I want to buy golf clubs and everything, but I don't want to pay for the golf course fee or whatever, right? That's like it's so silly that exists and that mentality actually happens. And because for me, it's like if they wanted to pay $40 to race a club show or $50 to race a club show, okay, like I don't really care because I want to go racing, right? The joy I have out of it is, I'm competitive as fuck, like we all are, and the competition is what I go for. And so it would be the same as if I went golfing or I went bowling. I'd spend the same amount of money either way, and probably more time doing it, right? Because it's more, you have more access. So I don't know. I just I think yes, Tamiya has something right. I don't know exactly what it is. I just hope it's not the free entry fee. I don't know where you got posted.
That's debatable. That's definitely part of it. The question is how much of that is it? But anyway, what got my attention and why I really even said, let's talk about this. Come on here.
No, I think it's a great discussion. It's one that needs to be had.
It was the way it came about, though. It was someone somewhere.
It started in Ohio.
Cleveland, Ohio. Fucked everything up again.
Not naming names or whatever, but someone somewhere wanted it and pushed it, and boom, there it is. And now it's a class at a big race with guys, the same guy's going to run it. Maybe 1 year will go by where not the top. Well, no, not even. I mean, I think there's guys in there now already that could win, stock class or
even super
top
stock.
5 of what?
They could even win super stock.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And I understand. Okay, Norcar did it because the track's small. Great. But if we need changes in classes like that, it should just be done the right way from the top down, and with some structure, whatnot. And that's where everybody needs to get on the same page and just work together, something class wise.
And like, if you think about how some of the consolidation has happened recently, like, for some reason, Horizon likes to buy multiple tire companies. They just bought out Trinity. I feel like if through the manufacturer affiliates that are within Roar, there probably is the opportunity to try to drive a bit of a class structure and to help promote like a stable kind of rule set so folks don't get like kind of screwed out. And honestly, I think this is what the tour with an oval is doing a good job of right now. And so I don't know, Mangler, if you can talk to the tour or not, but like I feel like every year around August they come out with here's the new rules. They try something new. It may or may not work. They maybe remove a class every once in a while, but they add one or two, they see what happens, and then they recycle. I know that you're like a model guy. You probably don't even know what the current tour rules are, but
yeah, I'm a little out. I'm out of touch on it, to be honest.
Someone made a good point. If you sign up for 25.5, you can't run any other TC class, and it's great.
I think
that's what we did at 360 with our current points series. We came back out with a spec motor class, 75 fixed timing. However, if you want to run that class, you're not running another TC class. That's it. You can only run that class. And that keeps the guys that want to maybe run 21.5 or mod, who obviously if they're going to think about running those classes, they're a little more experienced and skilled, you would think. but keeping those guys out of jumping into, just another class that maybe we're trying to keep that class for the dudes that are just coming into on road, or some of the lower skilled guys to have fun with. That's easy to be equally competitive. So yeah, I mean, again, and that's just a structured thing that you know needs to come from the top, from Roar down. And again, Roar, a lot of local tracks across the country, guys running their weekly, local just club racers. They don't, Roar doesn't mean anything to them. And that's fine. And totally understandable. And it's always going to be, and that's how it should be. However, it's Roar can still be something that we can all, it could start at Roar and then go from there. And the adjustments and the changes to the classes can happen based on the track that you're at and whatnot. But
so
it just can't be, it can't come from just a couple of guys, racing that's like, oh fuck, I want to do this, and then it just blows up to something. It can't go from the bottom up. It's got to go. Otherwise, we're going to be in this situation forever.
Didn't I do that with Can-Am?
What's that?
Didn't I do that with Can-Am? Just made up some shit.
Kind of, yeah.
So like,
that's still different. Like you didn't change the classes, Mike.
You just gave motors, so you didn't have to buy a $250 motor.
Right. That's more of a regular, more of a even playing field type of deal. You didn't say, okay, this week,
unicycles.
We're gonna race fucking Corvettes with with US VTA tires and with mod motors. We're gonna make this a class. It's different.
So if we took Roar's approach, and Roar approach, I think if we can name, let's say we can name 10 races a year that are identified as the major races, okay? And so, we would have indoor champs, we have snowbirds, we'd have carpet nationals, we'd have paved nationals, we would have maybe not even paved nationals, but like Halloween Classic, the hoodie race, the what's the race that's
maybe Chris Adams's race at
that one. Yeah.
Whatever, the bigger races, yeah.
Yeah, the bigger races. And Roar said, okay, let's standardize the classes, and this is what we're going to run at these races. Right? And say that, okay, we're going to offer 17.5, 21.5, 25.5, but you can't run any other touring car. We'll have a mod class because there's seven assholes out there that want to go run that. Yep. And then, and it's kind of like, same with whatever other. So you're still going to end up with around 8 classes, I think.
Depends on where you're at, right? Depending on where you're at, now you have to throw WGTR in the mix.
Well, no, and that's the thing. Like, it's kind of like we give them. We
ruined World GT.
We give them 7. You give them 7. And then the 8th one's your wild card. And that could be your regional guys. Right? And
whatever it is. I mean, it just needs to be.
But that's going to take a lot of work in getting those places on board and to stick with that. Because what the fuck's Scotty Ernst going to say, or Mike Bowen's going to say, well, I got 15 guys that want to run fucking F1.
And if I don't offer it, they ain't coming.
Right. And so we're kind of in that cycle again. Now, I think that's a way to answer the problem that you've presented or give a solution to it. It's whether or not you can get buy-in from not only those races, but then also, and then, and it's kind of one of those things. It's like, it's like, fuck all what you do the other 366 days of the, or 364 days of the year, right? Who cares? But that weekend, you're going to run these classes and we're going to run this. Now, could that hurt the race? Don't know. But I think that's a way to start. And it's kind of one of those things I think that Clayton needs to get, he and the powers to be. Oh, you can include the Southern Nats, right? Whatever. Get the powers to be to figure out, hey, let's try this for a year and see what happens. And, it's, I hate to put this out there, but I'm going to. But like, say if a race struggles, that board puts up some sort of compensation for it. I don't know. That's just Yeah, I don't think it'll fly. But look, it's just an idea, right? Let's just throw some shit against the wall, see what sticks. No idea is a bad idea, hey, like, so fuck off. But I learned that in my sixth.
I didn't even come on here to say, you know what, this is what we need to do, or this is the answer. I just want to come on and shoot the shit with you guys and get an idea from everyone on watching too, and in the comments,
Yeah.
Oh no,
I can tell you that, as a track owner, throwing my hands up in the air and saying, you know what, pay me $30 for whatever the fuck you want. It was the easy way out. Then it's hurt my track.
How do you think it's hurt your track?
We don't have it lost culture, the racing culture, where the racing doesn't mean anything anymore. It's just a little like
let me interrupt you too.
Everyone's doing whatever they want.
So you said
that it's my fault. I need to fix it. I need to change it, but it's I'm just saying the bigger races, we threw our hands up in the air. The bigger races did the same thing years ago and said, just, here are all the classes. You want to run it, run it. Great at the time, still great for those races because, that's the way we pull entries in nowadays. But in the long run, it's not the answer. It's hurt on road. It has.
Well, let me bring up what you said real quick.
Short term, it was good. It was like low hanging fruit. Sorry, I keep cutting you off. Go ahead.
That's right. Let me bring up this real quick. You said the back you had the heyday. You're getting 100 entries for a club show, but you also stated that look, you didn't have a lot of competition at that. So do you think that
we had too much competition?
But you didn't have other tracks. You didn't have other tracks around pulling races.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So was it a combination of you had a good set of rules and you had a certain amount of classes, but you also you were kind of the only show in town. Now there's more shows in town and you just went open. Is there some sort of correlation between the two? And there's probably a middle ground in there. That's where you're at.
Yeah, I think part of it was, from that point on, some of the changes I made probably weren't the right way to go, class structure wise. And even at the time, class structure wasn't exactly the way it needed to be. Do
you have a lot of guys coming in saying, hey, I wish we went back to Can-Am shit? Oh
yeah, all the time. But the problem is there's a whole nother group that would say otherwise. I mean, you're always going to have that. But what I was saying is that when we did, when we had a larger turnout, the class structure, while it seemed right because we were getting big turnouts, it wasn't right. We needed that sportsman class because we needed to be able to retain all the new guys that jumped in and joined us. Well, instead of retaining them, we had kind of one TC class. We'll take touring car for example, and it was tough for these guys to compete, and they weren't having fun because they weren't competing, and we lost a lot of them. So it goes back to the sportsman deal. And just, I think it's a fine line. I think it's a sensitive, soft little baby that you got to coddle to get right. As far as having a good rounded out program. I just feel personally, if we continue on the path that we're on with almost kind of like the Wild West, anything goes. If somebody wants to run it, 5 show up, 5 make. In the long run, that's just not. It's not gonna help and help on road racing thrive. Any kind of racing, whether it's on road, off road. So
it's a dilution of the product that you're trying to put out there on the track.
And it's not just that. It is that, but it's not just that. It's just it's a culture thing too. And so I can't explain that part of it.
Let's try to bring the audience in. We're getting some good stuff. All right. So comment here, not only about class standards, but we also need a proper points championship along with those 10 big races a year backed by Roar. I think that could be interesting.
That would be great. Just a matter of getting everybody on board and everybody on the same page. Years ago, remember they had the do you remember this, Mangler?
Yeah.
I think it was 12 scale years ago, had the
Great Lakes, whatever, blah, 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 Midwest.
The Triple Crown?
Triple Crown. Yeah, that's it.
Yep. something like that, for all the classes.
I'd be happy. And again, like the challenge is this ain't Roar, but I'm pretty sure we could get somebody to sponsor something like that. And maybe that's something we try to do. We try to put it together. The sad part is like I was last weekend I was in Minnesota at Brandon Skewes' track, and COVID seemed to impact that place really hard. Like Donnie, you're complaining about, kind of like turnout changes.
No, a lot of it is just the world we're in right now. I'm sure
these guys, they have 3 regular racers right now, and Minnesota,
3 people racing.
3. They have no club racing. There's only 3 guys racing there.
Oh man, okay.
And so, Brandon, just because of like the website and some of the other stuff that's going on, and
he's in business that way. Yeah,
he's can keep things running and floated through that. He also owns a building that he purpose built for the RC enjoyment. Realistically, this 100 by 60 building, and
I mean without guys like Brandon and
you and other people,
and
there
guys,
wouldn't be places like
me
that.
and like an EA or whatnot. These tracks, it's pure love of it. There's nobody that owns an RC track just because that's his business anymore.
And the sort of thing like this is my take on it. Like as much as the current big races are interesting, and like a lot of people are gearing up to go to US indoor champs in like just a week or 2, and then a few other morons like the 3 of us are going to be at the world championships in a few weeks, where, let's be honest, there's one guy on this podcast, he's in the middle, he might be able to win something. The 2 other like wingman here, we're just here for the jokes, and maybe
I was reading something, but
that's fine. We're here just to
I don't know, and I don't know about that.
Yeah, but anyway, to me, I always thought supporting the local tracks is the key. And so, if we wanted to make a local track championship, I would love to do that. And
yeah,
and like we brought a circus of people to 360, or we just piled on top of the races you already have. We go to 360. Like we could kind of do it in bands, because I think the problem is the US is too damn big. All right. You'd have to do it in vertical bands where you can kind of get to places, much like Chicky tried to do with that Northeast Grand Slam a long time ago.
That was more of a spinoff of the.
Yeah, that was great too, though. That was good. But I mean, look, unfortunately, part of the issue is with the turnouts and whatnot is as few on-road tracks as we have in the country. It actually seems to be a little too many, right? There's more tracks than there really are on-road racers. Probably more off-road tracks than there are off-road racers too, but that's a whole nother conversation I can get into with you guys. That I mean, like they're a racer. I can, there are guys that live 5 minutes from my track, 10, 15 minutes from my track, that maybe they race almost every week, but maybe only comes through 60 once a month, maybe, right? Because there's still tracks within 2 hours away, and someone always has the
I bought a pizza club race.
It's the spring national carpet, jack me off fucking, nationals, you know what I mean?
Right.
At Bumblefuck somewhere. And, but every week there's the big jack me off nationals somewhere, somewhere, and I mean, that's another, deal that is tough for a local track,
I mean,
that local track's having that race because they need to, they draw people in, they need to survive.
Yeah.
They have their once a month deal, but there's enough tracks where every weekend is someone's once a month deal.
Yeah. And
and it makes it tough. I try to have point series at my track, try and keep my guys at my track, because try to keep the fucking lights on. But every other place is doing the same thing, and it's just tough. We've outgrown the track population's outgrown the the racer population, unfortunately.
Yeah. One of the things I think is real smart, and this is like another kind of racer-owned track. At 180, they down in Middle River, they took that whole thing over. Casey, who he's been a Tamiya guy, for decades, and the interesting thing he has is he has some of the fastest national champions at on the East Coast or maybe in the U.S. But he also has this really strong, like VTA and front wheel drive and more like Funster aligned local scene. And so I think, the thing that probably everyone needs to have is that good combo between there's a place where it's a world-class facility, but then you also have this other, where probably they're not going to go to all these races, and that's fine. And you make it like super special for them, and you think about it, like
what it's all about.
The VTA Nationals that happens at EA's track, which is not the US VTA Southern Nationals anymore. It's the US VTA Nationals, per Myron, who corrected me this year. And it's celebrating the Funster. And like, I think that's what it's kind of, every place.
My races celebrate the Funster.
That too. But like every place needs the Funster every week. They don't need me.
Nope.
They probably don't need Donnie.
Right.
And they would like the gentleman racer. He just doesn't show up enough.
So, but at the end of the day, the Funster deal, Tamiya, the vintage Trans Am, whatever. At the end of the day, fun or not, it's as competitive as any other racing you're going to go do. Maybe more, right? So the fun part of it, is that really the difference? Is that what the draw is? I don't know. I think it's something else to the package.
I think it's the controllability of the car. It's the less breaking of shit. It's the, you don't have a body that's so fucking thin that you tap something and now it's ripped in two.
Okay, well, so then that's called structure, Mangler.
Yeah,
exactly I'm not. What I said we need. Look, right? Yeah. That's exactly right. That's what we need is the structure to tweak on all these classes. And
what if it was a situation where you had like Funster Friday, right? And then like you run all your Funster classes on one day, and then Sunday is for whoever wants to come.
I love the Funster stuff. I wish I could just do that. Probably be a lot more fun than what I do trying to keep my eyes focused on a fucking unguided missile. However, it ain't. We're calling it Funster stuff, but it's not Funster stuff. It's just a racer.
Yeah,
we're still racers.
Yeah,
and like we just said, as competitive or more competitive than what we do.
Yeah.
So there's something else going on.
Well, I think there's also there's an element to the Funster classes that, and we call them Funsters, and yes, they are competitive, but there's also a limit. There's also a segment of, there's a little bit of a wild card in there, kind of like our 13.5 main, that can mix some shit up. Just like an off-road. Like, dude can miss the double, he flips on his lid. Now this guy who was 7 seconds behind could be in the lead or right there. So I think those classes offer a little bit of that off-road ability of, you never know what the fuck's going to happen. And that, somebody can catch up and just be on, or be on the same lap or be in the same lap. I think those classes kind of offer that, because, there is that person who's still really learning, who's kind of thrown in there and kind of the puree of the concoction. And, that's what makes it, more entertaining or interesting. Where off-road, the dude can hit the double wrong or turn flip upside down, has to get marshaled. Now the guy's in second place or something like that, right? And so I think that's why I think that's kind of the, maybe it is the secret ingredient. This is me kind of hypothesizing, obviously, but that is part of it. Whereas, when you go and run, say you run 21.5 or 17.5 at 180 with G, Roland, X, whoever else is there. I mean, it's fucking, you're just getting a beat down and you're just following the leader. Like
that's the 1%. You know, that's the elite.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like I think that's the kind of difference of the two classes is that yes, VTA and all those Funster classes they're highly competitive, but you still have some wild cards in there, and those wild cards is what make the racing the racing. Because I can't tell you how many times I've marshaled a VTA race and some dude's checked out, gone, and then all of a sudden dings it off a pipe or tries to pass somebody and gets taken out, and now he's in second place. I mean, when we were at SeaTac, that happened like every main.
Yeah, and I think that's also though a lot to do with just like skill level as well, in class.
You know, and guys can actually control the car. It's not a guided missile. They can actually race. And so I don't, and again, I'm not, and I think kind of
we can talk about the unguided missiles too and why that's like that as well.
That's a whole other podcast.
Structure and lack of rules, you know.
But I think
it's all the same.
I think that if we kind of circle back around, I don't necessarily think 25.5 is going to be bad for touring. I think we need to, and I think you agree with this, maybe tell me if you don't, that we do need to limit to who can compete in it, and that it needs to be, if you run 25.5, that's it. No other classes or no other touring car classes, right? Mm-hmm. You can run 12 scale, you can go run whatever jerk me off thing is out there, but you can't run any other touring car classes.
Hey, maybe I need to drop down and run 25.5 at the Roar Nationals. I can get a national championship.
Maybe.
I doubt it, but hey, I mean, go out there and try, yellow guy. See what you can do.
Look, what got me was at my own place, lost a little bit of that structure and control over what we were doing, and in the long run, it hurt the place. And then I saw it happen on a national level with this 25.5 TC, and I just was like, what's going on here? And I don't fault the guys that want to run 25.5. I don't fault the guys, let's say at indoor champs, having the class and letting anyone run them. It's just the way it went down is just very interesting to me, and and part of what I feel is really where we're struggling, and the on-road side of things, and the whole industry really.
I think a lot of it has to do with like the whole like Roar and the regional directors and the fact that there isn't like regionals, and like that's not kind of serious at the moment. And I'll just kind of throw out there, and I don't know if it's up yet or if it's done, but until midnight, November 30th, you can vote for the Roar vice president and the odd numbered Roar regions. So you're in an odd numbered Roar region, Donnie, region 1. And, but like, I don't know if even people know where all the regions are. So like region 1, funny thing is,
you don't even know what states those are.
Well, I'm going to tell you, but the funny thing,
Northeast, I think, right?
Well, yeah, it's Connecticut and also Eastern Canada. So New York, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Vermont, and it says Eastern Canada, but Eastern Canada doesn't mean anything to me. The funny part is, under this, though, they only have 3 tracks listed as Roar tracks, and 360 isn't listed. Who knows? Region 3 is...
They need to update that.
Possibly. Region 3 is Alabama, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Tennessee. And they 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have 7 tracks listed. That's not bad. Region 5, that's Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Michigan, Ohio, and Wisconsin. And they have only like 5 tracks listed. Region 7, that's Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota. They have 4 tracks listed here. That's it. And then, but like, I know there's tracks in those places. They're just not listed. Region 9 is Oklahoma and Texas. Man, that's crazy. I think one of the region you're in, Bangler, is only Florida, right?
Puerto Rico.
Oh, and Puerto Rico. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So see what Jeremy Massalu just said. If you run 25.5, only other classes you should be able to run VTA F1, maybe USGT, and his point. That's what I'm talking about. You know, that's something like that is what the kind of stuff that we need going on. And
well, I think that with snowbirds,
something like that, something like that, or you know, what's that?
I think with snowbirds it will, because they've had an amateur touring car class for years, right? I think that it's just getting other places to get on board with that, you know, and they, you know, maybe like, you know, Pro Level with their Huddy race, or with Adams with the RCCA race, or whatever that race is. You know, I don't think they have enough people to actually do that. I don't know, but yeah,
you know, the racers are going to talk and what they want, whatnot, and they've spoken. Obviously, 25.5 something these guys want. They've also spoken in the form of 17.5 is not what we want to do anymore, right? Because look at the turnout, 17.5.
Yeah, no one's in there.
Dead, you know. Yeah, so.
Well, I think too. I think also with 25.5, and I think this is something that Roar needs not to change, is that they should not allow a 12.5 rotor. That you should keep the 12.3 rotor
to make the thing slow as shit,
or just make it fucking horrible with no punch and whatever.
Yeah.
And I heard some people like, well, if they put the 25.5 rotor or 12.5 rotor in it, it'll be much better. No, fuck that. Leave that shit at 12.3. Don't change the rule. You need to run it. Mm-hmm. Sorry. If you want to put a 12.5 rotor in it, let's go run some 21.5. Let's go run some 17.5, and let's go have fun then. But yeah, no, I think with the 25.5, they need to keep the rules the same too with the motor. They don't need to be allowing different rotors or stronger rotors in that class. Keep it where it's at. I mean, fuck, for all I care is that they should make 21.5 and 17.5 run 12.3 rotor too. Let's just take something out of those. Why not? You know?
But again, that's all. That's just
what am I going to do with all these?
That's just rule changes, you know.
Refrigerator magnets, kid.
That's rule changes and adjusting with times, you know, and that's sometimes what, you know, sanctioning bodies need. Not sometimes sanctioning bodies need to always be adjusting and doing stuff like that. And you're right. I mean, look,
I totally agree. We were behind the curve.
Take 12 scale mod, for example. It's the equivalent of if Formula One just decided to have no rules for the past 20 years.
Yeah.
They would be going 400 miles an hour down straight away, and you know, human beings wouldn't even be able to probably drive the cars around the track. They'd be going so fast. So that's the point, you know. It's just that there's been a little bit of free for all type of deal going on with rules, with class structure, with everything, you know, and now. For me, I see Roar trying. Clayton's doing a great job. We need to get behind it, and everybody needs to get behind that and go from there. You know, the local tracks can always adjust what they want after the fact, but
and then I think also they have to support Roar. We saw it today on the internet. Shit blew up in California. All of a sudden, they fucking realized that they're getting the worlds in California. And all these dudes in California are like, what do I have to do to race? What do I have to do to race? Well, you should have went to a fucking Roar race, first off, because you're not going to be able to get in. I'm sorry. Touring car races is actually popular.
Yeah, but they will get in, and it's good that they'll get in. No, they will, because the blocks won't all fill up, and there'll be a ton of extra spots, and yeah, everybody will get in.
Europeans will fill up some blocks to run touring car.
Front wheel drive will basically allocate all of Europe's environment.
And having front wheel drive there?
I'm gonna assume there will be mod
support class,
front wheel, and something that feels like super stock.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, this guy, I'm only gonna run mod because that track's it's easy enough to run mod at, and it's so much fucking fun. So
but what I'm saying is that and you can only have 150 entries, 120.
I don't know. There's only so much daylight.
Yeah. Well, do they have lights there? We're going to be running under the lights.
Yeah, probably. And
no, they will, because they have the one qualifier that starts at 5:30. It's dark at 5.
Yeah,
it's dark at 5, so we'll be under the lights.
That'd be awesome, actually.
Whoo! Shit's a lot faster on the lights, kid.
Yeah,
you guys see. Jeremy made another good point. People will run with. He thinks people will run what they can. Most people will run what they think they can win. he'd rather make the main in stock, indoor champs, versus winning 25-5. And that's great. We need more people that think like him. But unfortunately, a lot of the guys in this hobby don't think like him. That's where the structure and the sanctioning bodies and the the big race directors need come into play so that we can control what goes on.
I mean, I'm gonna like the world. So there's certain racers that are out there that we all know that they show up to a lot of the big races. They travel around the country. They are going to be in the B, C, D main every year. I don't want any names, but we're just gonna. But but they're staples in the RC racing. Like we see them at every race, right?
Yep.
They're just there to be in the environment, have fun, race the car, do the best they can. That is a segment that we need to encourage and that we need to have at more races. The problem is those people don't exist that much because the people are like, fuck, I'm spending this much time, I'm spending this much money, I'm away from my wife and kids or husbands or whatever, and like I'm running like damn near dead last or in the C main or whatever. I'm only 20th out of 40 people. Like I don't fucking do that no more. Like I can go do something else. And I get both sides.
Yeah,
and I think we need.
You'll have that in bowling too. The bowling league mid packers. The problem is if you're a bowler, what you're a bowler. You know what I mean? If you're RC racing and you want to do something different, you can always do something different, but still RC race.
Right. Well, it's just like these guys, they go out and golf, they spend all this money on golf and this and that bullshit, and they suck. They trust me, they suck, right? But it's just like they like to do it, like to get it. But for some reason, in RC racing,
they like to drink on the course. I mean, we could drink at the track too, I guess.
Fucking hey, let's bring some beers. I don't care if we had a bar and that's what brings people in. So who cares?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, we got a guy in Florida. I mean, hell, by noon he's 7 beers in. So who gives a shit? Like, let's just have fun.
I like this comment. So track time is an issue with big events, and like I totally buy this.
It is.
One of the things that I try to promote with like any of the races I'm like more involved in is to get at least like get some practice between a round, because like not everyone's stuff is so dialed in, and like you're hunting.
I know a big race that does that.
Yeah, which one is it?
I think it's my GT has an hour in between every round,
and like stuff like that I think at least helps. And to me, especially like, at the moment I'm sitting here humping and jumping, trying to make a different car work and, trying throwing everything at the wall right now. Donnie's shaking his head. He's like,
no, I don't blame you for that. I think the car has potential and, you got to support it.
And like, the reality is depending upon what time of the season it would be, there'd be more or less people like involved in trying to do that. But like,
oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter when what your real goal is. You show up to an event and like, there's a lot of people who are certainly behind the 8 ball. And like, even this past weekend, the fact of me getting a lot of extra track time, changing conditions, growing grip, different people I don't see all the time, but you can bounce new ideas off of them. And, conversely, you have other guys like looking for help with like, say they're touring cars and, you say, hey, give me a transmitter. Let me drive this son of a bitch, and you just try to figure out what's going on. I think, everyone kind of just needs a little extra help in the hobby. And, who knows, maybe what we almost need to do is take a guy who's in sportsman and sit him next to someone who thinks he's better than they really are, but like try to get them to help the sportsman. And then you could get people sticking better in the hobby.
Yeah, like a pairing, like a pro-am kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, it could be like that. We could have Bob Barker and FJ. It'd be fantastic.
Who's Bob Barker? He's dead.
I know, but I'm thinking more the Billy Madison comments.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't Billy Madison. That was
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Billy Madison. It was it?
Yeah.
I don't know. They're all the same fucking.
Bob Barker beat the shit out of Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
But it was
Price is Wrong, bitch.
I think it might have been
Happy Gilmore. Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore. That's what it was.
I watched it the other day. I love that movie.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of things that could be done. And it wouldn't take that much like time or energy or investment, but it's about trying to learn and everyone can have a chance to learn and like seeing the local guy, it all really starts with the local track and trying to help the local track. But even when it's not the local track and you got folks showing up to a huge race, they've never been there before, and everyone has that moment. And not everyone's moment are where they leave and everyone knows Donny Lia's name. Often you leave and you're like, man, I didn't even finish one of these qualifiers. And I think we need to figure out.
I think back to Mangler. Remember when Ray showed up at the Birds? Hit it right across from you.
Yeah,
dude made one qualifier out of 4. Yeah, and
but
he ended up making a main. And like it was
a local guy that never raced at a big race. He took the little bit of a leap of faith and did it, and he had fun, and that's unfortunately is not common,
Yeah, and Ray, he's a character because he's always wrenching on his car, and I would always just yell at Ray, run some laps, all right, buddy, because. He talks
about it every day about you yelling at him to run laps, and that's what he's trying to do. He does it.
He runs a lot of laps. I've been looking at some of the times.
I don't know about a lot, but he runs more laps than he used to.
Yeah.
He's been building his 800R for like 2.5 months now.
I'm sorry, what?
Really?
Yeah.
Is he doing it blindfolded?
He's that anal.
Yeah.
He had to get a new radio though. I heard.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
We've all had that moment. Hey, when my radio lost bind at Q4 at the Halloween race, I was in the pits literally just like, I'm going to smash this radio in about 1,000 parts. But I
had that happen to me at the Roar Nass a couple years ago. Lost bind in the sweeper, my 12 scale.
That's what happened? Is that really what happened?
Yeah, and I had to let San Juan know, because depending on the class that this happens in, this could be dangerous. Someone could get hurt. You have marshals with the ankles out and shit. And so San Juan investigated the situation. It was a very freak deal.
Yeah. Investigated, huh?
They got it figured. They know what went wrong, and they say they know what went wrong, and it won't happen again.
The FIA was sent to investigate.
Priority number.
Yeah. Now, was that at Coastal or was that in Dallas? Which one was that?
That was at Coastal.
Oh, okay. I think the one in Dallas, you purposely tried to hit me then, because I was talking shit while you were driving.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah. But anyway, that's fine.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like we've gone all over the place. I think what we can do is we can try to build a series of some polls and try to ask the people. But maybe what we really need to do is drag Clayton in and get him to respond to some of this. And how can he help?
He won't come on our show anymore. He only goes to other shows now.
No,
he has better airtime, and he's too rock star for us now.
No, he's a man.
You forgot who got him there.
Yeah, it's all right. He shouldn't be hating.
Don't be hating. Vote for Clayton.
Yeah,
I get it, but he's done. Forgot about us. He's done. He's moved on. He has left his little guy now.
Well, hey, at least the IFMAR, the new soon-to-be IFMAR president, talks to you. It's all right.
Listen, I just wanted to come on. I knew we would accomplish nothing, but I wanted to talk about have the conversation and just get opinions. You guys' opinions. Talk about it. Maybe get and exactly what happened in the chat. We talked about it. So
yeah.
Maybe we can something.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it, if we can find a way, we need some structure though to help get something out there where it's obtainable to get people in the door. And, you know, who knows? Maybe it's that club race hero. I don't know. It could be anything. Like, but you know, there probably needs to be a way where we try to route people in, but we need to make it so it isn't hard for them to get and hard
for the hobby shops, buddy. We need local retail hobby shops pulling retail customers that maybe were bashers, and you know, get them interested in racing an entry level class, and you know,
yeah, who knows? Maybe we need like some of these powerhouses like Michael's Hobbies, and you know,
there's a place just north of me called Epic RC Raceway. I think their deal is if you buy a kit, you get 1 free month of racing or something like that.
That'd be great.
Great.
I think that's their deal. But yeah, like they seem to. So it's in Newport Richey, Florida, which is kind of like it's kind of methy, but it's an okay area. But they pull in a lot of people. Like they pull in a lot of racers, you know what I mean? And it's like they're always showing how like, oh, this person came in and bought this kid. This person came in and bought this kid. They post on their social media. And I think that, you know, that's some of it too. People stumble across it because, you know, my other meth friend went and bought a car, and you know, now I'm going to go buy a car, and you know, we're going to do meth and fucking race RC cars together.
I don't know. Come on, bro. You ain't helping things.
It's a joke.
Is it on road or off road, that track, Angler?
Off road, 8 scale.
Nice.
They do some 10 scale too, but yeah, Epic RC Raceway. I don't know if you want to look it up on Facebook. But yeah, they
you know what seems to pull people in too is you know, a hobby shop with like a mini Z track in it. You know, get guys playing with mini Zs first, you know, and then or they just continue to do mini Z, whatever. But
well, you know, that's always kind of been RC racing has kind of been like
road racing.
Yeah, it's been like the porn shop of fucking the hobby world, because it's always in some dark corner off the main street. No one knows it's fucking there. You know, it's kind of like you have to know a guy to get in and or go there or figure out where it's at. You know, it's always kind of been like that. And unfortunately, you know, the reason there's a reason why is because the profitability isn't to be in a high end retail setting and to bring people in. Now, people like say Michael's and Hobbies down in Florida, in Orlando. He's in a really big mall. He's in a very busy mall. It's not a dead mall. I don't know why. I would throw a mini Z track in there somewhere and just try to see what you can get going. But you know, that's him. But yeah, there's a local track by me that's like 15 minutes away. Thursday night, they run those 1RC cars. They have a little, like, it's no bigger than 40 feet. And not even 40 feet's probably 15 feet. They run those 1RC cars. And, you know, they get a little bit of a drawing, but, you know, that hobby shop's been there for a really long time. They seem to, you know, they get like 10, 15 guys, but I mean, like, they really can't fit more than 10, 15 people, right? But, you know, at least that's kind of more of a open air retail setting that you can actually see and, you know, oh, let me stop in there or something, you know. But, yeah, I think there needs to be more of that. Unfortunately, RC for years has been, you know, kind of hidden away and or in the middle of nowhere, and, you know, it's hard to do that. And,
yeah.
Mini Z allows that because it doesn't take up such a large square footage of space. You know, you can get people to see racing or see action, you know, quite easily. And then they're like, all right, well, let me go figure this out, right?
Yeah. No, it's for sure.
So
how's Tyrion doing over there?
Oh, dude, he's chilling. You know, he's happy to hear your voice again, you know. So
this is his real daddy.
Yeah. Whoa. He misses Senna, you know, and but yeah, it was
maybe Mrs. Trotter calling him L13.
Yeah, L13. Yep.
I think that white cage is still at the track.
Probably, yeah.
And so Ray bought his dog the other day, and that cage surfaced, and they had the Ray's dog in there.
Dude, there are those cages at tracks littered through Maryland, New Jersey, New York.
So Ray has this dog, and the dog's running around. I never seen it. It's the first time he bought it there, and he's like, "This is my dog right here. This is a good dog. He's trained. Blah blah blah."
It takes a dump right there.
I said, as long as it doesn't, you know, take a shit right here, we're good. No, this is my, you know, Ray. He's well trained. He goes outside. He didn't finish the sentence. The dog was taking a shit right on his foot, right on my carpet. It was classic. so funny. Ray there cleaning the shit up.
Yeah,
now it's so great to break his balls about it.
Yeah, no, you know, and like if it wasn't for 360 and you know, being able to bring like crazed animals like this there, I don't know if I would have kept my what is appearing sanity. You know, especially like during COVID. You know, dude, those Sundays during that COVID winter at 360.
I missed trying to drive my car while with the constant barking. It's good training for big races.
So you don't get distracted, you know?
Yeah.
So between the barking and the cackle every 3 seconds, which one was worse?
I don't know, but it'll help you focus at big races. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to focus.
Exactly. You need the constant heckle, you know, it's important. So but
when are you going to come visit and do some racing with us? You travel all over the fucking country. I see. You can come to us once.
Know, man, it's bound to happen. You know, I'm really happy to see Sal back at the track. You know, I hear he's helping you know, inspire you to get in the track a little bit. And you know,
I do. I showed up a couple days in a row because he was there once.
That's crazy. You know, that's really crazy. Like, but I hopefully, you know, 2024, you know, we hit the reset on all the vacation time, and I got to figure out my schedule. But I will be at the 2024 NYGP. I will make my triumphant return.
So you know who is coming very soon and not giving no bullshit about vacation and nothing like that is Mangler. He's coming this weekend.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. No bullshit excuses. Nothing. He's just coming.
Mangler, I think, has 90 billion hours of vacation.
Yeah, I know. I'm just breaking your balls.
That's fine.
No, I need to.
Yeah, that's fine. And you know, but we all hope to be like Mangler. And so I hear there's going to be like a big crew of people showing up this weekend.
A lot of testing.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm going to burn that carpet down.
Oh wow.
Can we run S16 Max at your track?
Sure. I don't give a fuck. Anything goes.
Yeah, don't worry, Mangler. I don't think it'll matter. But
I've been running it a little bit because you know, that's what we're going to run at the World, so I've been playing with it.
Trying to understand what it does. Yeah. I don't know, man. I think it's going to be such a crapshoot at the Worlds, like for the first day or so. You know, I think I'll just be happy to like have the car go straight and maybe not wad it up.
I'll just be happy to be there. It'll be fun.
Yeah. So, and New York Mike G is going to be coming and helping you out this year, right?
He might come. I don't know.
He might come.
He's gonna see if he gets some time off.
I'll you know, he doesn't need that job. He works too hard anyway.
Never seen someone work. He works every day, man, till day and night. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So, you know, there's a lot of hardworking people that they need to just, you know, spend more time.
He works really hard. So like the little bit of time he would take off to go to that race, it's like, you know, the last thing he should be doing is going to that race.
Yeah, but I still think he'll.
Yeah.
So anyway,
guys, it's been real.
Yes, Donnie, thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on.
Oh, it's the best. Whenever you want to come back.
Killed your viewership this week.
Do you want to come back after Worlds and give us your like candid feedback from Worlds?
Sure. Yeah, I can do
That'd be great.
Yeah. We have to do the 360 live show one day from 360 too. One day when you can get out.
Well, we could do it this weekend since I'll be there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You have a pro podcast right there.
All right, I'll have to set
we can just fucking talk about FJ and how horrible he is.
It's been a while since it was on the air, so we're gonna
I mean, essentially that was the genesis for this shit. So
yeah,
somewhat.
I mean, yeah,
we had a couple good shows on that. Me and Hanilik.
Yeah, me and Drew Ellis had a really good one once. Yeah, it's pretty positive. So,
anyway, thanks for having me, fellas.
No problem. Thank you for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thanks for the input from everyone that joined in on the chat.
No, it's fantastic.
And I know we accomplished 0, but we had fun doing it. Maybe it'll segue into some other conversations.
It could motivate people. You know, that's what it's about. Let's make 24 better than 23. All right, guys.
That's That's it. All right, guys. Take care.
Sounds good.
Take care.
Thanks,
This
Happy
weekend.
Thanksgiving. All right. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye. All right. That was fun.
When he says bye, he means it. He peaced out.
Oh, he's over. He's got shit to do.
Yeah. He's like, I've spent an hour too much time on this. That's what he's really.
Yeah, that's fine. I get it.
Yeah. So
I mean, an hour with us is like 3 hours in like real time.
Yeah, something like that. It's great. So Mangler, you'll be in New York.
Yep.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yep.
Great. Love it. I'm I'll be in the Pacific Northwest doing stuff.
You're gonna be at Nora?
Yep, Nora. And we'll see how it all pans out. And next week you're gonna be doing the warm-up race / Thanksgiving race.
Yeah, so I won't I basically can't get there till Saturday morning. And so it'll be it's good. Well, so like oh shit. Oh fuck. Ah fuck.
What's going on, big fella?
I dropped my phone and hit my balls.
That's really rich and compelling video. Yeah. You want to zoom in? No? I got nothing for this. Anyone? I can put up the line drawing of the guy who is a dick having big feet again, because I feel like that's about where we're at with this.
Fuck that hurt.
Do you use like a, I don't know, like a 1980s Zach Morris phone? Like, what does this phone look like, bro? It can't be that big. Come on, bro.
I mean, still fucking in my balls.
Yeah. All right. We've gone to the movie Idiocracy, where they have that show "Ow My Balls," where all they do is punch somebody in the balls. It's amazing. Yeah. And Themlis is spot on. Walks in just as Mangler smashes himself in the balls. So.
All right. Anyway, sorry.
It was a gentleman drop. That's what that's known as from now.
Oh, fucking hurt.
Could you end every show with you doing something for your balls? That'd be fantastic.
Stupid ball tricks.
Yeah, that'd be great. That would really build the numbers, I think.
Oh, fuck. That hurt. Oh.
Speaking of building the numbers, we'll just do one last little pitch. We gained a single subscriber.
307?
We're at 307. That's not really that acceptable. This is great content here. We got fantastic guests like Donny Lia. We helped get basically, Clayton Young elected,
Yep. Now you forget all about us.
Help your boys out here,
Yeah. Shit, I lost. I'm all done.
So you're going to New York.
Yep. Oh yeah. And then I'm going to the warm-up races, the state race plus the IFMAR World's warm-up, which I think will be like 7 people. And yeah.
Will it be like 7 Americans and maybe 4 Brits? Is that what it'll be? Or we don't even know.
Probably 4 and 3. Something that makes 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we'll be there, and it'll be interesting because the track opens at 7 and racing starts at 8. So I have to true tires, try to practice once, and then start race in all in an hour.
Can't you just bring your own tires? No.
Nope. You got to buy 7 sets.
Okay.
And it's going to be a sauce table.
Yep.
You can't bring any sauce. Anyway.
It's a reminder. It's turkey decoration time now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man.
So, once you're done dropping your phone on your balls again, you can put down the turkey.
Yes, I'll hang it back up.
Yeah. So
well,
and then so for me next weekend, I'm just gonna be watching from afar. I'm gonna be like one of these creepers on the internet.
Oh yeah.
And I'll be creeping on Cleveland and Beachline. And
where are you gonna be for Thanksgiving?
I'll be in the Boston area.
Okay.
And so if anyone knows where I can get a pickup race on somewhere in Boston, let me know. Just kidding. Almost kidding. And then
you go to RC Madness. It's probably not too far away, is it?
It's far enough away. RC Excitement would be closer, but yeah, that's still far away too. So but yeah, anyway, so I'll be doing that. And then I don't even know if I get on the track. I think that's it for me. So Thanksgiving.
There's one weekend in between there.
Yeah, if Beachline was open, I would go there, but I'll be in Florida starting early morning the 2nd of December. So that's it. So
Tuesday?
What's that?
Oh, wait.
That's a Saturday.
Oh, wait, where are you going on Saturday? Did I see your dad?
Yeah, I'll visit my parents and just hang out there, and then see everyone bright and early Monday morning.
I'll probably be in closer to noonish.
Okay. So. Yeah. And so that's my plan. So I guess I just have this weekend to break all my stuff. So I should do that. And
you got like 2 weeks to fix it.
Like 2 weeks to fix it. Yeah.
Didn't you break it all this past weekend, from what I understand?
Oh yeah.
I mean, there was one point where your car had wood impregnated into the chassis, and it was I don't think any of the wheels were touching. It was literally like a lawn chart.
No, there were 3 wheels touching because the other one was just folded up.
I don't know. I think it was at least the rear wheel was in the air.
Yeah, they were. Here, I will share pictures of this because I think it was like one of the most amazing crashes I've ever had.
You've had some pretty oh shit, not again crashes.
Oh no, not again. So this location, and I don't have this thing. I don't have it saved, which is really sad. But there is a picture of my car impaled into a board. The part of the board was previously referred to as the tranny hole, because the hole in the board was created by Joe Trandell.
Oh, really?
Yes. And so this is the final outcome of the car, though. It's not a good sign.
I got this picture. Do you have the one with the wood?
Yeah. Look, there's the wood. Oh, not that one. That one wasn't good either. But like, look at that one.
I can't see it.
Can you see the wood?
Yeah.
There's wood right here where the steering arm is. But like all the carbon is just destroyed.
Yeah.
That's not it. And then look, the wheel. The wheel's broke.
That's pretty good. You did one like that in Florida or in Cleveland.
Yeah. Look, here's more wood. Somehow I got wood in my car. And look at the wheel. Look at how savage that is.
Yeah. That's impressive. That's hard to do.
Yeah. And like, look, you think my steering's off? Look. So look, this car has something that is a little different on it. So Fabio had made something. There's 2 prototype things in this picture. All right. One, which has been disclosed today on the internet. So this front end that's on this Roche car is actually an Awesomatics front end. And there is a 2-degree Awesomatics post on here, which it snapped in half. So this should be a full.
Is that steel?
No, it's aluminum. That should be a full circle, but it's gone. Yeah. So anyway, that's my show and tell pictures from the weekend. It was fucking savage.
Did you learn anything?
I learned a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
How many more times are you going to try around 5 degrees caster?
Well, I don't think I crashed when I had 5 degrees of caster.
Oh yeah?
No. Yeah, that definitely wasn't when I crashed. One of the things that I did do was I went late in the day on Saturday, or maybe it was on, I think Saturday. I filled up, for anyone who's seen this part on the Roche car, I filled this thing up to raise the roll center 2 millimeter. And so this like goes on the back of the battery brace.
Mm-hmm.
And just, trying to, find ways to further like dial in this car. And it was, it was interesting. So
did it work?
Yes and no. And
Okay.
I think by the end, yes, it did work. It took other setup changes. Like when you make such a big setup change, then you're stuck with other things that you're trying to deal with, after that. And so like, everything was a victim this weekend though.
Like, you gotta start removing Band-Aids.
Yeah. And so look, this is my Awesome Axe car. I broke part of the rear dampener.
Oh,
you
God.
See how one part is missing?
Oh, God. How'd you do that?
Dude, savagery. Just total savagery.
Huge track must be brutal.
It's a little rough, man. But it's okay. Trust me, if I had that track, I would love it. It would be the best, dude.
All right.
But and then maybe I'll leave everybody with this one picture of this guy that was on the plane with me. He's pretty fantastic.
Oh, is this the guy that?
Look at this guy, bro.
Ooh.
And he's going from Minnesota to Seattle. That's
Panama Jack.
Yeah, and he also
has
Aaron
Rodgers.
I don't know who it is, bro.
Huh?
I don't think so.
No, it's not. I was joking.
Yeah, I don't think so, man.
No.
So anyway,
well, this guy, he's ready to go.
Yeah,
he kind of looks like a Brad Pitt character.
He looks like he should be smuggling drugs somehow.
Yeah. Like he definitely looks like the Blow, Johnny Depp in Blow, or Brad Pitt in whatever some movie. Yeah,
I'd agree with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway,
cool. It's been fun. It's been real.
Yeah, and we'll probably do this all again next week. I think
when you fly to Boston.
I fly Monday night, so I might have to do this from Boston.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's all right. They got the internet in Boston. It's all right.
Yeah. We can get White Oprah on the show.
Possibly, could be. Yeah. And so we'll see how that plays out. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, big thanks to Donny Lia.
Yes,
big
thank you.
thanks to all the guests who have been with us, and to future guests who want to be on, hit your boys up. And
maybe we just need more guests.
Probably. Yeah.
People are just tired of listening to us talk.
Yeah, no one wants to hear us. The Kemp and EA show was pretty big. Well,
maybe we should get Mr. IFMAR El Presidente.
I don't think he's formally the president, but we believe he could be.
All right.
So, but yeah,
maybe. Max will be in the States. Let's get him on.
We could try. So,
all right, we'll put something together.
Yeah, we'll work on it. All right, and but otherwise, have fun at 360, like formerly my home, and say hi to all the locals. Throw back a few beers or maybe some Patron or whatever it is with Ray for me.
It's Coors Lights. I love Coors Light.
They do lots of stuff there, bro. Yeah.
Every time I see him, it's Coors Light. He's just killing silver bullets, man.
Yeah. And as usual, like, share, and subscribe.
Yes, please. Right. Also, Amazon affiliate links. I posted up. If you're mounting a body, you need some foam.
Okay.
Check it out. Get you some. Hook up the show. We really appreciate it so far. Hey, last week was this week has been a good week. This weekend. Yeah. Did some numbers, kid.
All right. Yeah. Are we at double digits yet?
Oh yeah.
How about triple digits?
No.
Okay. So your version of numbers and my version of numbers are just different. So
hey, it's passive income, dickhead. Don't worry about it.
I agree. Anyway, here's a request to have Sam or Xavier on the show.
We did. We had Sam.
We have.
Sam delivered one of the funniest moments of all time.
At Mile High?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. Oh shit! Oh shit! Yeah, that was pretty good. That one.
That wasn't the one.
Yeah. We got some classics. Yeah.
All right.
All
Thanks,
right, guys.
everyone. Appreciate it.
And fly safe, Mangler. Be good.
All
Have
right.
fun.
Will
Kiss
do.
the babies. Shake the hands. All that stuff. Later.
Got it. No problem. Bye.